Yeah, hi, it's the 28th of June 2018 at 4:30 p.m. I've taken a tangent lately that you could be forgiven for thinking of what the hell is this, any of this got to do with mgtow? Well, the situation is we've heard all about mgtow from any number of other channels. If you ask me, it's addressing a symptom, not the cause. And we all know what the symptoms are. I mean, we can go over and over and over them again, rehash them. I don't want to. I find it boring. Okay, and it achieves nothing. Nothing at a personal level. There's nothing in it. No value in it for you. No value in it for me. So I don't want to go there. So I'm taking a different tact. And what I've done is I've looked at what I've taken conversation actually, quite accidentally because I did it for another reason, but I actually see it as being very applicable to our dilemma and what's happening. So, what I'm trying to do at this stage is prove to you and myself in the process that the value that we offer one another via conversation is no different than the value we offer one another by giving one another money. Now, how we do that differs, I think, between the sexes. I'm going to suggest, or actually what I'm going to do is try and, over the next couple of videos, is draw an analogy to coding. If you code in a low-level language like C++, you're coding at machine level. Okay, and at absolute machine level, you're talking in binary code, zeros and ones. And that will give you total control over the machine. It's very slow, very difficult, unless you know what you're doing. And I don't. I'm only aware of these things. I don't actually code. I code in Visual Basic, which is pretty much anybody can do that. But the higher level coding is like Visual Basic. It's very easy to do, very quick, but it gives you very little control over the machine. I don't pretend to understand it, but I sort of get the idea that it's at a higher level, so it's got to go all the way down to the machine. So things are going to have to get compromised, and there'll be a lot of value lost on the way down. And the coding, I believe, is slower, and what have you. Machine level language it's harder to do, harder to understand, but you have a lot of control over the machine. You're really talking to it one to one. Now, I think much the same sort of thing is happening with us. I think we're actually unaware of it, but we're actually communicating and thinking at a lower level. This. If you bear with though, and I think it's quite interesting because I sort of know what's coming up. It's all condensed into a thought now, but it's actually quite interesting what will come out of this. I think it is for me, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, and so in the initial phases, I'm trying to convince you and myself that the value that we get from our interaction with one another is no different than the value in exchanging money. We always tend to think of value in terms of money, in monetary terms, okay? But I'm going to try and suggest something else. So there's another currency, and it's a thought. It's the of thoughts. It's the currency is different styles of thought, and there won't be many of them. Four, in fact. They're really simple to remember. It's not difficult. It's like zeros and ones. There's not many to remember. You got 0 or 1. Just where you place them in the bit is what's important. But yeah, it's the same as this. It'll be just a couple of pieces of thought code. And how you use them is up to you. But you could get very, very powerful with it. You can actually control how it's... Because what happens is that this is back to front. This should be down the bottom in this case. But yeah, at the logic level is right down close to the brain, and how you can actually create emotion from it. From just what sort of thought you put into a person, to a person's mind, create will, whether it's negative or positive, will create some sort of emotion in that other person. Can you see what I'm driving at? That's where I'm going. I'll just so it's useful, I'll get you the idea of how you can code in a certain way. You can certainly do it with writing on here. You might be a bit slower in speech, because speech happens very quickly, but when you've got time to think, you can actually code a person the outcome you want, the emotive outcome you want. So it's fun, but I think what you'll find is women tend to code at a higher level. So it's all based on emotion. It's sort of based on they're working on the result all the time. We tend to work on the origin. They tend to try and write in the result. I think that's the way it works. Okay, so that's where I'm going with it. Just in case you're sitting there thinking, what the hell's any of this got to do with mgtow? But I think if we work it through, we'll all start seeing. Me too. We'll see what's going on, what's happening underneath it all. And it's the best thing is, you guys are inputting stuff that's, and I'll talk about that actually helps me construct this, because it's not just my idea. It's actually most of it's coming now from you guys. I'm kind of like an artist, and I'm trying to get what you're thinking into this diagram. Yeah, a little bit like an artist. It's like I'm painting a little bit, then I'm watching comments and going, oh, okay, yeah, fit that. Yeah. That's what I'm like an artist. Bullshit artist, probably, but yeah, I'm a kind of artist trying to fit all of your thinking into this format. And so if you just, yes, for an example, Jay Lord yesterday said, oh, no, some stress is good. And I thought about, yeah, he's right. So I changed it a bit. And you'll see the changes I've made in following videos. But look, I'm just going to leave it off. This is just an overview to let you know what's coming up. And yeah, I think it relates to mgtow. I also think it's interesting. And it might understand why we have a communication problem with women. And it may also suggest some ideas of how we can improve that communication. And look, I fix things. I don't complain about them. Okay, I like to fix and come up with solutions to problems. That's me. Anyway, it's good talking to you, and I will talk to you shortly. I hope this is loud enough for you. Okay, bye.